NFL Week 9 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. If you followed us last week, you made a lot of money and crushed your books. The biggest play of the week, Bengals, won outright, easy money. Went 4-1, 5-1 all around. College football hit again. And we're heating up with football, guys. I am happy to be back in Miami, guys. Just came from Saudi Arabia, caught the Fury fight. Excellent fight, excellent experience. Went to New York right after and just landed in MIA. Talking about MIA, we got a big game this weekend. Dolphins Chiefs, 9 a.m. London time. Let's talk to the tilapia lover, Salim. How we doing, brother?
Man, so I'm feeling good, man. Miami, Kansas City, it's going to be a good game. Maybe some mimosas at 9:30 a.m. See what these guys can do, man.
Mimosas, champagne, and whoa, I'm not going to say fast. Yo, now talking about the reality of what's going to happen this weekend, I'm going to make this episode nice, short, simple, and sweet. If you guys are going to catch to it all, you guys are going to get my biggest play of the weekend. As you guys caught it last weekend with the Bengals. I think all around over the last 2 weekends, we're like 9-2, 9-3, 10-2, around that mark. So the plays are hitting if you follow them to the T. This weekend's a big one. Kansas City Chiefs against Dolphins. I've been talking a lot of shit about the Dolphins. I've been talking a lot of shit about Tua this whole season. Call them the tilapias. They can't beat good teams. When pressure comes, Tua folds. And I still think Tua is not a great elite quarterback, but I'm running with the Dolphins this weekend, guys. It's a 9 a.m. game in London. And I'm seeing a lot of similarities to what I saw with the Jaguars Bills a couple weeks back in London. Jaguars were there beforehand. They were acclimated to the field, to London. And the Bills came out sloppy. Jaguars came into play. And I feel like it's going to be a similar situation right here. Specifically, since the Dolphins landed on Tuesday, I believe Kansas City's landing Thursday night or Friday morning. That gives the Dolphins an edge in a game that's neutral. You can't come and say that it's an away game for either of them, or the whole thing that Dolphins have been losing away in Philadelphia, in Buffalo. No, this is a neutral field. I do see this game being more 50-50. We saw last week Kansas City, guys. Now, that game might have been a hiccup for them. I get it. But Jalen Ramsey's back. Howard should be back this week. The secondary is going to play nice and tight against a receiving corp that, let's be real, they don't look that great this year. Without Travis Kelce, that team, who do they throw to? Valdez. They have players that are stepping up, Sky Moore, you name it, but they're not elite. They're not Tyreek Hill. They're not Waddle. And I think that's going to make the difference this week. The points are at -1.5. It's an even game where most of the money is going to come in on Kansas. I love Dolphins to prove a point in this spot, especially because they've been just hammered the whole season. They can win big games, all of the above. This is the game they turn it around. Salim, my friend, is horny here. Let's get him involved.
So first thing first, thank you for finally picking the fucking tilapias. I love your pick. Don't have to say much. Second, it is in Germany. I think the NFL is trying to expand, and it is in Germany. So interesting to say, 9:30 a.m. I'm rooting for them. I hope you're right. And like we spoke about this week, we're going to do it a little differently fantasy-wise. We're going to throw in a couple player props. So me in this game, Tyreek Hill, over 90.5, easy money. And then when it comes to Mostert, if he plays, just take his rushing yards, man. I think the Dolphins are going to fucking run it and run it and run it. So I just see a great game. So I agree with your pick. I always agree when you take the Dolphins. So
I don't take the Dolphins really often, man. I really don't. So if you're going to take them, it's a big deal. I do see them as a game that they prove a point here. Kansas looks a little floppy. Just to continue with that, just the Kansas City's defense allows the teams to run. Go look at who's the number one runner in the league, the Dolphins. And their defense is starting to get back. They were going through injury problems, but we saw Ramsey last week. He almost had a pick six. They allowed, I believe, less than 200 yards, passing yards. Now you're playing Mahomes. Mahomes is lacking those receivers. I see this game being tight. I see this game for McDaniels being a game to plan for Tua to just let the ball go out fast, a little RPOs, give him a little bit of time here and there, but they're going to play a fast-paced game, and I think they're going to tire out Kansas City, especially with it being a neutral field, traveling a couple days beforehand, Europe, you name it, 9 a.m. game, prepare your mimosas, prepare your breakfast, and let's win some money to start the Sunday day, baby.
Let's fucking go.
At 9 a.m. football, you wake up, turn on the TV, and your play's cashing ready for the 12 o'clock.
And the tilapias are up.
And the tilapias are up, man. The tilapias are up. We're going to be eating good tilapias this Sunday. Let's move on, fellas. Like I said, I'm going to keep it nice and tight. And before I do move on, I'm going to do something special this episode since our show's growing, getting more viewers, getting more comments, getting more subscribers. Really happy for everybody that's sharing the show. I'm doing a big ass giveaway. this weekend. And it's for this game specifically, Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs. So this is the giveaway. Tag your friends, share it to everybody, because the more comments there are, the more chances someone's going to win. Maybe it's your friend and you can split the price. I'm giving away a Rolex, a $10,000 Rolex this weekend. So whoever guesses the score of the Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs game has to be exact, and you got to pick the winner. If you guess that, you will get a free $10,000 Rolex. I just bought one in Saudi and I made it 2 for the winner. So whoever gets that's going to get a free rolling is going to be flinging it up come Sunday, probably Wednesday, because I got to ship it to you. But it's a free Rolex, guys. You guys like Rolex? If you don't participate, but most of you guys want a Rolex. So comment on this YouTube video the final score with the winner and tag a buddy, and you will be able to participate in this giveaway, which I will choose the winner if somebody guesses it Sunday night and ship out the watch Monday. Salim, you had something to say?
Yeah, just one entry per person when it comes score-wise. But tag your buddies and let's do it, man. That's exciting.
Rolex, man. Rolex. Not many people are doing Rolex. I want to start getting creative with it. Eventually, I want to give out a car. It's going to get nice and interesting come 2024. I got a lot of big things coming, partnering up with big names. You guys are about to see that real soon. But let's start off with doing something special, a free Rolex to my viewers, my subscribers. Just guess the score, comment it, and you'll have a chance to basically make $10,000. With that said, let's continue on to game 2. Salim didn't know about the Rolex. He's holy shit, he's giving away a Rolex.
What do you mean? I'm going to put the score up as soon as this video's up.
Let's go to game 2, guys. And a nice game, a 1 o'clock game right after we cash the tilapias. We're going to go ahead and take a little Seahawk action. Seahawks are going to eat the Ravens this weekend. Seahawks are going to cover the spread at the very least, guys. Geno Smith's back. I think it's a game that's going to be tighter than most expect. Geno Smith's a hell of a quarterback. He just gets overconfident sometimes and he decides to make crazy throws in the end zone, which I think Pete Carroll's going to correct this weekend. Walker's a great running back. It's going to be a tight game, man. I don't see this game being won by the Ravens by more than 5 points. As a matter of fact, I see it as a field goal game. My line for this game was Ravens -2.5, -3. I see why they're opening it up at -5.5. They're home. Ravens have momentum. 2 big wins, one versus the Lions, even though last week's versus the Cardinals wasn't like too convincing to say the least. But with that said, Seahawks in this spot in the morning. Pete Carroll, I like him to win this game. I like him to keep it tight. Let me rephrase it. I like him to keep it tight. I do see them as a possibility of an upset, but play it safe, +5.5. This line will probably be at 5 Sunday, in my opinion. I believe it'll be at 5, give or take, by Sunday. And that's my second play, not the biggest play. I'm going to go to the biggest play right now, but I wanted to give my boy Salim's input on this play.
But yeah, man, Kenneth Walker, you said it, man. I think he's going to have another big game. Last week, he took a step back. We saw Charbonnet, which is also another freaking stud that they have in that backfield. It'll be exciting to see how they both play off each other, and they're going to go with the hot hand, but I expect Kenneth Walker to come back big time, and you said it. When they're going to be at the goal line in that red zone, they're going to give it to him, and they're going to fucking punch it in.
I agree, man. I agree, and that leads me to my final game, which is the rivalry of the weekend, the biggest game of the weekend. One of them. I think it's between the Eagles, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, Kansas. Those are top 3 games. But the divisional match, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles opening it up at -3, sticking at -3. The public is in the Eagles side because they're home, they're playing better, and I'm going with the public side. I typically don't do that. I typically like to be the contrarian, but I don't see Eagles losing this game at home. I'm not taking that -3. I'm taking that money line as a 4 o'clock lock. With that said, Eagles money line is the play right there. That's the play I'll be taking. I'm keeping it simple this week, guys. I'm only doing 3 plays, not incorporating college football. The week for me has been rather slow, so I'm trending a little slower. Last week I had a big week, so my bets were a little bit bigger. This week has been a little bit slower, so I'm going to proceed with just 3 plays, keeping it simple. But it'll probably go 3. And just like last week I went 4-1. The previous week I went 5-2. I want you guys to take these 3 plays. These 3 plays will probably hit. Dolphins, I really love as a play. That's the main play I'm leaning on right now. And you guys know I'm not big on the Dolphins, so that says a lot. Then I would say the second play that I would take in order would be the Seahawks +5.5, and then the Eagles money line. As of today, Friday, November 3rd, when I'm recording this at 1 p.m. That's the time I'm recording this. So a lot can change. If you're not in my free Telegram, I highly suggest you join it. I post all my updates there of what I'm going to take and what I'm not going to take. Sometimes, depending on what happens with injuries, some of these plays I'm talking about, I don't end up taking them because something happens, the line moves, and that's why I'm urging you to join the free Telegram, where number one, you'll get all the updates, and number two, you'll know who won the Rolex, and you get to qualify for all that good stuff and more giveaways. I do weekly giveaways, guys. I try to give back as much as possible with free education, free websites that I use. About to finish up a free course of how to get started in this industry, how to build your bankroll, and I post a lot of free content just for you guys, so you guys can start getting more accustomed to this industry. It's growing. It's going to become I would say, the next stock market in the next 10 years. I fully believe there's going to be funds running sports betting picks and sports betting returns. I'll be one of them, probably one of the few first that starts that up, and I'm excited to show you guys all that. With that said, man, that's pretty much on my end. Salo, you got anything to leave the crowd with?
Nothing, man. I just want you to send me a picture with your Dolphin jersey when you wake up on Sunday, brother. I think that's the only thing I want to see this weekend.
Bro, I'll rock it. I just want to make something clear before we end the show. I'm not a Dolphins hater. I want the Dolphins to win. Now, do I believe Tua is a big quarterback that's going to be great like Mahomes, that's going to lead us to the Super Bowl? No. And I hope he shuts me up. And I hope he shuts me up this weekend. Bro, if he doesn't fucking play well this weekend, you're never going to stop hearing it from me. I'm giving it the chance because it's the play. Like, I see it. It's lined up. I'm like, okay, Tua, this is your time, buddy. This is when you shine. But if he doesn't shine here, man, and he fucks us over by throwing an interception like he did in Philadelphia, I'll fucking slap him. Tua, I'll find you and slap your ass. You've already cost me money this fucking year. Nah, in all, it's all a joke, man. But he fucking sucked dick. But all right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Share the show. Leave it in the comments below. Your final score between Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs. If you guessed the right score plus the winner, you guys are going to get a free Rolex. Stay tuned to my stories on my personal and AF Sports page. I'm going to post pictures there of the Rolex that I have for you guys. It's ready for one of you guys.
That's crazy.
One entry per person. One entry per person, and you can win a $10,000 Rolex. Not many people do that. All right, fellas. Share the show, and I'll catch you guys next week. See you, Tilapias.